Thank you for choosing foster care. Let's talk a little bit about the realistic expectations with fostering. Fostering is when you choose to bring a child into your home to love and to care for that child as if it's one of your own. When you receive your first call, some clarifying questions that would be important to ask would be, why is this child coming into care? What is this child's background? Does this child have any mental or physical struggles that are known? Where does this child go to school? How is this child's overall behavior? How does this child deal with animals? Does this child have any allergies? On the first day that your child is with you, you may try to do a couple of things. Make your home an inviting space for the child. This is because your child is entering a brand new environment for the very first time. Be open and friendly to your child. It is important that they feel comfortable towards you and your family. Set up simple rules and expectations. Fostering is a very important and needed job. And yes, it is a job. You might be ready, but you'll never be fully prepared. You're adding a new temporary member to your family, someone you know almost nothing about, and someone who knows nothing about you. For many of you, the child you are taking in is not like your own child, not like your nieces or nephews, and maybe not even like the kiddos that your children are friends with. The biggest difference between the children you are familiar with and your foster child is trauma. Every child entering foster care suffers from trauma. Let me say that again. Every child entering foster care suffers from trauma. Now, that being said, how can you take a child into your home and include them as an equal part of your family? By setting realistic expectations of yourself, of your family, and of your new placement. Are you planning to take in an infant, even an infant straight from the hospital? Thank you for saying yes. You are needed and we appreciate you. Please understand that that baby has already suffered trauma. Some signs of this may be feeding problems, sleeping problems, issues with being able to self-soothe or allowing you to help soothe them, the need for noise and motion, and the need for quiet or still. The list goes on. If the baby has struggled with drugs and alcohol, your infant's physical condition is not likely to be well. It is important to handle your foster baby with love and care like you would your very own biological child. Are you planning on taking a toddler into your home? Thank you for saying yes. You are needed and we appreciate you. Trauma in toddlers can be challenging, especially if the toddler cannot yet tell you how they feel, which initially may be a struggle. They will want familiarity and same, not new and different. Meet them where they are. Do not expect much from them at first. If they have been potty trained, they may regress. If they've slept through the night, they probably won't. If they were a good eater, they may be holding out. It's okay. Be calm, offer grace, and give time. Generally, things will turn around when your kiddo starts to feel safe with you. Are you planning on taking a preteen into your home? Thank you for saying yes. You are needed and we appreciate you. Preteens come with their own heavy hearts. Let's help them feel lighter. Meet these kiddos where they are. Offer support and understanding. Do not judge. These kiddos have been through more than you will ever know. They will not be thankful or appreciative to be in your home. They will want their normal or whatever version of that they feel comfortable with. Success with these kids starts with meeting them in a common ground. Set the rules and expectations slowly and within their current reach. Do not overexpect. Do not overreach their abilities. Keep it simple. Feed them their favorite foods. Don't wash their favorite stuffy. Let them keep the smell of home, whatever that was for them, with them. Don't strip them of their comfort, and in time, that will come. Are you planning on taking a teenager into your home? Thank you for saying yes. We appreciate you. There are not enough families like yours. Teens are a little more tricky until you get to know them and then they trust you. Like preteens, they will not thank you or appreciate you for being their new home. They will be upset. They are old enough to understand more of what's going on and have been taken from what they know. Teens will need a lot of snacks and not always healthy ones. They will want space. So it's important to decide what that looks like in your home. They will want to maintain friends from before they came to you. That is important for them. And if said friends are part of a healthy relationship, it shouldn't be a problem. Decide your ground rules, but listen to their thoughts on them. Open communication will help. Let them decide the expectations that they can and will be able to stick to. A friend of mine only takes teens. She suggests a few different things. If she knows that they are coming, she may look them up on social media, see if she can find some things that they like, and add them to the bedroom that they will be in. She leaves activities in their room, such as a sketch pad and pencils, an adult coloring book and markers and fidget toys. When they arrive, she gives them a quick tour of her home and where their room is. She does this right away with the CPSW. She shows the teens where the snacks are that they can have whenever they'd like. She has the teens sit with the assessment worker and herself and go over a few things. It is then that it is discussed who the teen is able to communicate with. My friend then switches out the teen's phone for one on her phone plan. This is for safety. She is not taking the phone without replacing it with one that they can use. All important numbers are added to the phone: the CPSW's number, the CASA's number, any therapists, the after hours number, and her own phone number. She believes that teens should be part of their case planning and gives them every opportunity to do that. She does have some hard, non-negotiable rules. Those rules are that she controls any and all meds and that they go in a safe. She dispenses the meds daily. No cigarettes, vapes, or pot in the house. Safety sweeps can happen at her discretion. If she finds it, she destroys it. Everything else is negotiable. She gives her teens a lot of freedom to be voices in their own cases. Be prepared to build some bridges and not put the focus on putting up barriers or being right. It's not about that. There will be enough places that there will be power struggles. Do not make connecting with your foster kiddo a power struggle. Please, for their success, set your expectations where your new friend can meet them successfully. They have been through a lot. They need you to be their cheerleader. They need you to root them on, to build trust, and to make them feel safe, special, and important. Never speak negatively about biological parents when children are anywhere around you. They don't need your opinion about their parents. Always keep the comments about biological families positive or, at a minimum, neutral. Almost all children who enter the foster care system will struggle with a few of the same things. Transitions stand out as the hardest. Change is difficult. Different is scary. Reassure children of the plan. Give them time and count down. Many children won't know how to play. They won't know how to play with toys. You'll need to show them. You'll need to sit with them and play with them. Teach them to use their imagination safely. Sit and read to them. Our 11-year-old came to us and no one had ever sat with her and read her a book ever before she came into our home. Newly placed foster children will struggle to follow a routine. That's okay. Be patient. It will come. Stay specific and consistent. A little at a time. If you are stressed out, can you remember what you need to do? Probably not. You may forget important things. You may overreact. How do you think your foster kiddo feels? Don't have those expectations of your foster child. They are stressed to the max. They can't remember all the new things, the rules, the expectations, the changes and the feelings that are going on around them. It's too much all at once. Kiddos joining your family will struggle with boundaries. Generally speaking, the younger ones will want all of your everything, all of your time, all of your attention, and all of your love. Again, you will need to meet them where they are and find ways to help them feel safe and secure while teaching space and teaching appropriate boundaries. With any kiddos, a quick snack can be a great reset. Something simple like a banana or an applesauce pouch can quickly de-escalate and change the focus. Let's touch base on consequences. You now have a new temporary family member. You don't like some of the behaviors or choices that they make, and you think it's time for consequences to be put into place. Well, what does that look like? For a kiddo with trauma, it won't look like it does for your own kiddo. Timeouts may not work at first. They will fight you on them. They don't trust you yet. It's important to remember that each child is an individual. What works for one child in care will not work for all children in care. Again, meet them where they are. Maybe teach instead of time out. Maybe take space instead of separate. There will be realistic house rules that need to be followed. Those are important. Our biggest one in our home is if you hit, you sit. That's a given because everyone deserves to always feel safe. All of the children we still have at home are either adopted or in the process of being adopted. Not one of them has the same set of expectations, not even the twins. Same basic rules? Yes, we have the same basic rules for all, but the expectations are different for each kiddo based on where they're able to be successful. There is no such thing as fair. Fair is not equal. Everyone will need something different to be and something different to feel good about themselves. Success breeds self-esteem. We want our kiddos to always know they are loved, safe, important, and special. Each child will come into your home with their own needs in their own love language. When you have your own children, you have about 8 or 9 months to prepare for them. When you take in a foster child, regardless of their age, you don't have much time to prepare for them mentally or emotionally. You may have things ready, but it will not be enough until you learn your foster child. Be prepared to be frustrated, nervous, excited, and angry. Plan to be exhausted, surprised, and even in love. However, please understand that this is a loss for this kiddo. Even if you are providing them with more or better than they had, it's still a loss of family, a loss of what they're used to, and a loss of what they know. We had a kiddo who literally destroyed his bedroom every single night or early every morning. We would wake up daily to all of the clothes and all of the dresser drawers dumped out on the floor, all of the mattresses off the beds and made into slides from the bed frame to the floor. We had 4 children in the same room at the time. Every day he was so proud of himself about how he decorated the room. He did it intentionally. He wanted us to be mad and to tell him that we were mad at him. It was annoying for sure, especially after the 10th day. But instead of telling him we were mad, he had to help put it back together the right way every morning. When the rest of the kids would go down to the family room to play or watch TV, he and I would stay back and pick it all up, just like Groundhog Day. The same thing every single day. Then finally, it wasn't fun anymore. He wanted us to be mad. He wanted us to tell him we were mad. He wanted us to raise our voices. We didn't. He figured it out. We were consistent in the consequence without ever telling him anything besides that we wouldn't go downstairs until he helped pick it up. Looking back, I think he was looking for the one-on-one time. He didn't care that he was missing out on the toys. He wanted to be heard. He wanted to feel important. This was just his crazy way of showing it. Ask for help. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean the child is the wrong fit for your family. It means that you're human and you need a hand. Please understand that chaos happens. This will impact your family. However, impact isn't negative. It's just different. As soon as a new and soon a new normal will come. It may take up to 6 weeks, but it will happen. Just be patient. A couple of helpful hints that may help you set yourself up for your success would be plan ahead for meals. Ask for help. When we have a lot of kiddos in our home, we are only allow them to each do one sport at a time. Make time for yourself and make time for yourself with your partner. Your children may need you more. Make time to connect with just your children. Allow your foster children to call you whatever they feel comfortable with, as long as it's important. We generally don't call ourselves anything specific when we welcome a new placement. Younger kiddos tend to call us mom and dad because we're called that by the other kiddos in our home. This does not take away from their parents. We are mom and dad of the house. We are mom and dad of this family. Their mom and dad will have these names, and for their mom and dad, the names are associated with feelings. For us, it's a title. Our name of being called mom and dad by our foster kiddos is not a feeling, it's strictly a title. It holds no emotion. It is a way for our foster kiddos to feel less different and more like the rest of the family. We have been called auntie and uncle as well. A few teens that we have had called us by our first names at home, but when we were out and about, we were referred to as mom and dad. As long as it's appropriate, let the kiddos decide. Please plan to commit to your placement. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing gets easier in the next 3 or 4 days. Plan to drive your foster kiddos to school, to daycare, to the doctors. Try to go to the court hearings that you are permitted to go to. Just keep in mind that you have to remain quiet unless the judge asks you to speak. You may also be asked to leave the courtroom as well. It can feel intimidating to go to court, but it's also where you will get the most information. It doesn't hurt to say hello to the biological parents when you're there either. The connection is good for the children. You do not have to plan to take your foster kiddos to visits, though. You do not have to supervise visits. However, you may be asked to supervise phone calls. If you're asked to supervise phone calls with a younger kiddo, set up an activity where they're sitting down. Ask the parents to read them a story or see what toys you may have in common. Maybe the child and the parent can do a puzzle together virtually. Maybe it's Play-Doh. Maybe it's coloring. Playing dinosaurs was a big hit for one of our kiddos. We would set the iPad up for him and his mom, and we would keep a few dinosaurs specific just for his calls with mom, and they would play dinosaurs together, just the two of them. I've never met a parent who's working on their plan who does not love their child. Parents are usually working with the tools that they know. Their tools are just different. Maybe their tools are less effective. Maybe their tools are less safe. Maybe the parents are just less equipped. But never once has it been because they have less love for their child. Thank you for choosing to open your home and to become a foster family.